no matter where we are on our path, we at times confront moments and circumstances that diminish the importance of our work to us in our mind, that lead us in another direction. Even if it starts out feeling temporary, sometimes things can begin to just snowball until we're off in another whole direction. And our mind, our ego is working overtime always to create other focuses that it tries to tell us are more important so that we stop paying attention to healing. And it creates constant forgetfulness, constant amnesia. In order for us to experience anything that becomes permanent on our path, we have to be able to experience those things with a more heightened and acute awareness. That only can happen as we develop the observer in us. So we're really asking ourselves, what role does the observer have in our lives? And how can we make it our go-to practice that allows us to use it in a way that fuels our path and helps us become more speedily successful on our path? So I'm going to describe the thought observer. The practice is 1 minute a day. You can put your timer on, close your eyes, and watch your thoughts. You might have 20 simultaneous thoughts. You just pick one and you speak that thought in your mind. You think that thought back to yourself, and that's it. Now let's go over some of the nuances and details. 1, you are not analyzing the thought. You're not analyzing your thoughts. You're not analyzing your mind. The second thing that you're not doing is you don't have an opinion about it. So if your mind says, gosh, that thought is a destructive thought, that's an opinion. Now, your mind might think that, but instead of diving into it and continuing the dialogue, you are going to observe that thought. Observer will say, now I see a thought that says, I think this previous thought is a destructive thought. Again, that's it. If you feel you need to close out that mirror of that thought, simply say, that's interesting. Also, make sure that you have no emotion in the repetition or the repeating of the thought you observed. And you'll notice that more and more and more as you go on your path, you will continue to ask yourself, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now? Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to deal with these emotions? What am I supposed to do here with these thoughts? And remember that over and over and over, I'm going to say, observe. Now, our thoughts for us, as it stands right now, most people would essentially consider themselves their thoughts. If they stopped for a minute and said, well, who am I and who's thinking these thoughts? It would just start to tumble in a weird way and become confusing. So almost everyone kind of operates with this vague idea that I'm thinking, these thoughts are me, they're mine, and that's who I am. And I'm a variety of these thoughts because these thoughts include opinions, beliefs, memories, everything. And then I also connect that to my body. So I am this unit that is thinking and moving. However, as we practice the observer, there will be a moment where your consciousness will detach from your thoughts and be in a different position and be seeing your thoughts versus being in your thoughts or thinking your thoughts. Now, this might sound weird or scary, but the truth is that once that occurs, you are now in a position to do many things, to quiet the thoughts, to direct the thoughts more powerfully in a positive direction, and to then begin to observe the heart, to begin to explore what is love. So imagine that you now have given yourself more strength, more autonomy to direct your path forward, to have a part of you in a position of strength so that you get to decide what's true, what's not true, who do I want to be, what parts of me need to be healed, and how can I begin to foster my relationship with love.